first thing I like to say is that on the topic that the person who is affirmative has talked about pollution is being the main traffic is being the main cause of pollution in the current environment. Although that may be true, but then there's still the fact that it is the state's responsibility to control and to regulate air quality in each individual state and districts. Let's see. In the U.S. standard air pollution measurements, within the air, within like a 12-month range. Let's see. This is from a study done in the UK. The UK measured or took data from the US government that the US Constitution or the US federal law for all the air quality of the country. Sulfur dioxide is around 140 pressure per barometer. ppb pressure per barometer. Yeah. And the nitrous dioxide is at 53. Particulates minuscule particulates at 50 micrograms per meter cube, and carbon monoxide at 9 pressure per barometer, and lead at 1.5 micrograms per meter cube. This is what the U.S. allows in the air in their country. But comparing it to the UK is way more than it's about a quarter lesser than what the U.S. allows. Sulfur dioxide at 100 ppb, nitrogen dioxide at 21 ppb, lead at 5. Minuscule particulates at 50 micrograms, and carbon monoxide at 100 ppb. Okay, now comparing this to the U.S., it is shown that the U.S. allows a more degree of flexibility within the air quality of their country comparing to the UK. Now, if the U.S. were more strict on their laws for their air quality, then our air quality would be lower as well. And by doing that, our air quality would become better, and over time would become better over time. Okay. And oh yes, and also about their method of law and their form of punishment. Technically, there isn't really a real punishment right now. But then, by the time it was introduced the first time, around the year of 1990, the U.S. they set the law to have this set of crap in the air, to put it bluntly. But then, although they said this, they didn't enforce it. They couldn't. They said this, but they didn't enforce it. There was no punishment to the states for not following their laws. But then by the time of the 1998, I believe, no, 1997, they amended their air law again, and now they have. Now they stated that if the states do not follow their laws for over a set period of time, or if it is not lowered over time, then they will place sanctions and they will stop funding for that specific state. But again, it is the state's duty to lower air quality, and some states choose not to do it. The affirmative side also mentioned that they wanted to. The main claim is to increase the age to 18 for minimum driving. Okay, that's all fair and well, but then by the time they reach 18, it does not change anything, because the reason why at age 16 is to gain experience. This experience is vital for us to become better drivers over time. As we get more experience, we become better drivers. Okay. And then, oh, here we go. No. So a different way of it, instead of increasing the age to 18 flat out, instead they could introduce a system of graduate driving licensing. In this method, instead of just making 18 flat out, they have a chance, teenagers, they have a chance to drive, but then drive as normally, but then they must have someone who's 21 or older and with the current state license with them in the same car, so that there is some sort of like a little guardian for them, so some sort of little guardian for them to watch over them and see their mistakes and fix their mistakes. By using this method, they could gain experience under an eye of protected order of an experienced older driver, which is usually apparent before they can take the wheel on their own. So let's see. And then only a new driver of whatever age has gained experience under these restrictions, and when they have proved that they are safe on the road, then they are able to get the full license and be able to drive by themselves anywhere they want. And this is all from a debate organization, from a researcher, Anders B. Allister, who wrote about driving age and the talk about raising the age to 15. And yep, and that's why it should be left as it is.